Good evening, everyone. If you could just please take your seats, and we'll get the award ceremony started. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to my memories for Grimsby Town Football Club's Player of the Season Awards for the 2024/25 season. And indeed, welcome to the fans watching downstairs on the Mariners Trust Bar on the live stream. Before we get started, we'd like to thank DH Tuck, who are tonight's sponsors. And if Andrew would like to come up from DH Tuck and come to the stage, and men's first team coach David Artell, if you'd like to come up for a presentation, please. Round of applause for DH Tuck, please. Thank you. It's been another memorable season for the men's team for various reasons, as head coach David Artell and all his staff attempted to put the disappointment of last year behind us. Let's take a look at some of these season's highlights. And with one game still left to play, we've shown a remarkable improvement in all areas of the pitch. We'll have a highest Football League points total and league position since 2006, and have won our most games in an EFL season since that same year. For a generation of younger Mariners fans, this is the best season they've ever known. 21 wins in the league so far, including an incredible 10 on the road in front of the always amazing travelling Grimsby Town fans. We've defeated 6 out of the current top 7 sides in League 2, and the staff and players deserve all the credit for turning it around from last season's 21st place finish. And all this with a horrific injury list that we've had to contend with all season. A genuine achievement in itself, whatever happens this weekend. Perfect February of 4 wins from 4 League 2 games, including a fully deserved 2-1 win at promoted side Doncaster Rovers, saw David Artell nominated for Manager of the Month as the team finally got some national recognition. It's hard to pick out individuals in what is genuinely such a good group of lads to deal with, but special mentions must go to Danny Rose, who has continued where he left off. He continued where he left off last season and has actually become the first player since the legendary Kevin Drinkle 40 years ago to be the outright top scorer for Grimsby Town in back-to-back seasons with another double-figure tally. And personally for Danny, it was one of the best in your career. Plus that goal at Bromley was just... Denver's joint top of League 2 assists chart with an amazing 12, as well as being named in the League 2 Team of the Year at the EFL Awards in London last night. So well done, Denver. Young Evan Curry, he's emerged as one of the first names on the team sheet in what has undoubtedly been his breakthrough season as a first-team player. Kieran Green has been doing Kieran Green things, such as scoring from his own half. And the team has been doing so well this season that even a Cleethorpes Seagull wanted a piece of the action against Port Vale. I will give a special mention as well for Seb Orton. He was nominated for League 2 Apprentice of the Season at the EFL Awards last night. He made his debut at Carlisle, of course, at the age of 17 after Jake Eastwood's injury after 12 minutes. A round of applause for Seb. Also a special mention for Neil Woods' youth team, who made the 4th round of the FA Youth Cup after a famous win over West Ham United, only to be defeated by Tottenham Hotspur after heroically taking the under-18 Premier League side to extra time. Round of applause for the youth team here. And for the women's team, head coach Ben Challen has seen good progress in his first year in charge after relegation last season, finishing 3rd in the East Midlands Women's Regional Football League Division 1 North and making the quarter-finals of the County Women's Cup. The team have played on the hallowed London Park pitch twice in front of record-breaking crowds and scored an amazing 91 goals in all competitions, with Beth Wharton netting 35 in her 6th season in a prolific year for her and the team. Of course, none of this would be possible without you, the Grimsby Town fans. You travel up and down the country in such ridiculous numbers and in all conditions, to grounds that have good and not so good facilities across the land. The black and white stripes are in your blood, and I know for a fact that each and every player appreciates the time, money and distance spent to support your beloved Mighty Mariners as you sing your hearts out for the lads. We really are greater together, so please give yourselves a huge round of applause for all the support you've shown Grimsby Town this season. And we're not only celebrating the place tonight, but also the staff here at Grimsby Town that work tirelessly behind the scenes and whom you might not necessarily see. The grounds team, the ticket office and club shop staff, the media team, the staff up here in McMenemy's on busy match days, the cooks, the cleaners, the bar staff around the stadium. Special mention to Sharon Dobbs, who recently retired after 30 years as bars manager, the photographers, the programme sellers, Lee the flagman, the stewards, the security staff, the legendary John Moore up on the gantry, providing his recognisable commentary, with Martin, who's filming tonight over there on camera duties. He's been here 41 years doing this. Give a round of applause for Martin. Mark Burgess, who's over in the corner, providing the press with hot drinks and fig rolls. Sharon Hutchinson, who looks after everyone in the Bill Car Suite over in the main stand. Please give everyone, these backroom heroes, a massive round of applause. And we'll go on to why we're here tonight. It's awards time, and the first award we're going to hand out tonight is the Women's Goal of the Season Award. And if I could ask Liam and Abby from Harvest to come up and present it, please. And the winner of tonight, of the Goal of the Season for the women's team is Paris Welsh. But unfortunately, Paris can't be here tonight. So her teammate Danny Brighton will come up to the stage on her behalf. Thank you, Danny, for coming up on Paris' behalf. Next award is the Men's Goal of the Season. Quite a few contenders. Let's have a look at them. There's Green! And what a ball that was from Hugh! Totally at art, Kieran Green. It was Hugh with the
a set piece. Just floated it into an area from the edge of the box. Green just peels off the back of Woods. Makes no mistake with the header.
Some amazing goals there. Can I ask David and George Hubbock from the Mower Hub to come up and present the award, please. And the winner of the men's goal of the season, there's quite a few good contenders there, but the winner is, he hit it from Weatherby, it's Kieran Green. Greeny, just before you disappear, I need to just have a quick chat about that goal. I mean, it'll clearly the best goal you'll ever score, surely.
Yeah, it is. I want to score one like that. I think that's only the second time I've seen it back, actually, so I don't really mention it, I never bring it up. But yeah, I'll down it.
And what was you thinking at the time? Had you talked about it before the game? Was it something you saw the goalkeeper off his line?
No, I don't know, I think I must have been knackered. I must have been knackered at that point of the game, and I thought, either have a shot or run forward. I chose the easy option.
The thing is as well, it didn't bounce as well. I mean, a lot of people probably couldn't kick it that far.
No, I can't either. I think the day before we were doing a crossbar challenge, me and George from the halfway line, and I couldn't reach the goal. So, I don't know where it come from.
And he wasn't the only one in that list as well of yours.
I know, yeah, there was loads of good goals on there. And yeah, wasn't a win.
That's something you've added to your game this season?
Yeah, playing a bit further up the pitch, so that'll be a chip in with a few.
Brilliant, good stuff. Kieran Green, everyone. Thanks, Kieran. The next award is for the Player of the Year, the Women's Emerging Talent Centre. And if we could ask Women's First Team Coach Ben Challen to come up and present the award, please. And the winner of the Women's Emerging Talent Centre Player of the Year is Brooke Mile. Brooke, firstly, well done on winning the award. What does this mean to you?
It means loads. I haven't played football for long, but it's good to win something.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. You're still so young. How old are you?
14.
I mean, that's incredible, really. Ben, why does Brooke deserve this award? How good is she?
First of all, it's been Brooke's first season in the ETC, so she came through our pathway that we've got, where we've got a participation pathway with Premier League kits, so she came through that into the ETC, and to see her growth from the start of the season to now is just excellent, really.
And what kind of player is she?
So she's a centre half, she can also play in the four as a defensive midfielder, but she gets the team playing and building from the back, she can pass it, she can move, yeah, she's excellent, she's got it all.
Brilliant, cheers Ben, and hopefully the first of many awards, Brooke. Thank you. Cheers, Ben. Now the next award is for the Men's Young Player of the Year, and if I could ask First Team Coach David Artell to come up and present the award. Look surprised. And the winner of the Men's Young Player of the Year award is Evan Corey. Have a word, David, about Evan. Firstly, congratulations, Ev. How proud are you to win this award?
Yeah, I'm really proud. I won it 2 years ago, and it was always waiting to win it again, and to do it this season and to play the amount of games I played is a brilliant achievement.
You went out on loan, did you? Spending more, you had illness, you had injury issues, but this really has been your breakthrough year, hasn't it?
Yeah, it was a tough time last season, obviously not playing and getting ill, going out on loan and stuff, but off season it was time to kick on and to prove myself, and I think I've done that this season.
David, how good is Ev?
The fact he's played every league game says everything really, or participated in every league game, he deserves a huge amount of credit for what he's achieved this year. You know, it's not easy in your first year to be as consistent or to play as regular, and they're two qualities that have been absolutely outstanding, never mind his actual football ability. So them two things alone are hard to achieve in a breakthrough season. We tried to put him on one last year so he'd get experience of that, and it's hard when you're first coming through, and I think he had 12 games previous to that at the back end of the season before I joined. But he's been outstanding this year. He deserves every bit of praise that's come his way in the award tonight.
What makes him so good in your setup, in your vision?
The thing is, for me, the question is, if he doesn't play, do you miss him? And we do. So there's a lot of things that others don't. The amount of second balls he wins, the amount of attacks that he breaks up with the opposition. Which is sort of a bit of the unglamorous team. Now, we're challenging him to get more goals, and he's got a couple this year, which is a really good start. And some more assists. He probably could have had one the other day, but we won't mention that. Sorry, guys. But no, that's the fact that he's there. It's like, don't be stood 5 yards out of the box, be stood 5 yards in the box, because he's got an unbelievable engine. He can get up and down. He can last the games probably better than anyone in the league, certainly in our team. So it's a case of, you've got the ability. He's very good technically, off both feet. So now it's just running it out in the other box as well as the rest of the pitch. So he's made an unbelievable start to his career this season, and he's got a bright future.
And Ev, what's this group of lads like to work with?
Yeah, unbelievable. Every day you see the graph that the players put in and stuff, and we're just a great bunch of lads. We all get on. Even we go out team bonding and stuff, and everyone just gets on with everyone, and to see it out on the pitch and see all the effort that's coming out and flourishing, it's amazing to be a part of.
And I know John Corkin, the photographer, likes you because you know where he is when you've scored.
Yeah, every time I get stuff on a pitch, I always know where he is, and if the moment comes where I score, I know which way I'm running.
Congratulations, well done, Evan Corey, everyone. Well done. Come to the biggies, the Player of the Year. The first one is for the women's team, and if we could ask Andrew from DH Tuck to come up and present the Women's Player of the Year award, please. And the winner of the Women's Player of the Year award, she's had a prolific season, she's already been mentioned tonight, it's Beth Wharton. Ed Walton, everyone, well done. And now for the Player of the Year for the men's first team. If I could ask someone else from DH Tuck to come up again, please. Thank you. I think it's been a testament to Town's success this season that there have been several candidates for this. But the winner of the Men's Player of the Year award is George McEachran. George, if I could just have a quick word with you. How proud are you to win the Player of the Year award for the men's first team?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, the lads been unreal, the gaffer, Sean, Benj, yeah, we good.
Do you feel you've progressed as a player under David and Sean?
Yeah, definitely. The style of play suits me. Everything about it is good.
Some Town fans have described you as the best midfielder they've seen here play at Blunder Park in years, and I'd have to agree as well. The touch of yours is ridiculous at times, and obviously that goal we saw in the goal of the season nominations as well. Your technical ability is second to none at times, and you are a pleasure to watch, George. Without blowing smoke too much, I stood right next to you. It has been fantastic. It's been a pleasure to watch you. And how much has it meant playing for the Grimsby Town fans, who you've been mingling with tonight?
Yeah, it's a big club. The history of the club is massive as well. So we've got one more game, and hopefully we can make it.
Yeah, I'm trying not to talk about that game too much. I don't want to put too much pressure on everyone. But well done, George. It's fully deserved. George McEachran, everyone. Well done, George. And that concludes this year's Player of the Year awards ceremony, but that doesn't mean the night is over. Shortly you'll be able to meet the players and get autographs before they go downstairs again to the Mariners Trust Bar. Then David Artell, men's first team coach, will speak to you all at 9:30 with an opportunity for you to ask him a couple of questions, and then there'll be a raffle and an auction at 10 p.m. But for now, for the awards section of the night, thank you very much and good night. Thank you. David Artell, and we're going to have a quick chat about this season. How good it's gone. David Artell, everyone. David, thanks for chatting to me. How do you feel this season has gone overall?
I think I'll give a much more accurate reflection at about 6 o'clock on Saturday. It's one of progression, one of development, one of improvement. The improvement doesn't stop, the development doesn't stop, regardless of the results Saturday. I think that's the main thing. I think we was talking on our table there about pressure on Saturday and all this. It's normal for us to go, can we get better? And that's what we try and do every day. Whether that's an individual player with an individual bit of skill. And I don't mean like taking someone on, I'm not about developing this kind of pass or that kind of thing. Or is it a unit thing or a team thing, a collective staff thing? So can we continue to improve this football club in incremental bits? And I think that's what we've done. We've got a game model now that it's interesting when we've sort of tracked it across the season. There's much more greens now than there were reds at the start of the season, and it's sort of yeah, not that kind of green. But it's sort of reflected our progress during the course of the season. So regardless of what happens Saturday and hopefully in the next few games, that we'll be starting at a much higher point to continue that progression next year, regardless of Division 1.
What's the biggest difference this season then to last season when you came in?
Standards. I thought, we spoke right. I can remember that Monday before we played MK Dons away on that Tuesday night, and the first passing drill was lethargic and okay. It was okay. It was only okay. And it's like, come on. Here we go. We're much better than this. A lot of you are much better. And actually raise standards. And it's interesting now, the players are also driving the standards, aren't they? Sean will say the same, the staff will say the same. We don't have to drive standards as much now because the players understand that they have constantly got to get better, and they credit themselves. But for now, it's much more powerful coming from peers. Any research, any literature will tell you that the best learning is when your peers tell you. It's much more impactful than a boss, basically, or a certain person in authority, or a teacher or whatever. So that's really good for us because the players are in that position now to go, hey, come on, that's not good enough, or you're better than that, or do this. That's really good from our point of view, from the staff point of view. So that was certainly not in the building when I first walked in. The recruitment process with Joe, Joe's still here, but he deserves a huge amount of credit for what he's built and built out, along with the other staff, in terms of the recruitment process. So there's loads of things, like I just mentioned the game model, there's loads of things that are in a much better place now. If I got hit by a bus outside, God forbid, the club is in a much better place now than it was 15, 18 months ago.
And I think the consensus is whatever happens this weekend, it's been a fantastic season and great progress.
Yeah, great progress. I can't say fantastic, we're not top of the league. And I'm not trying to be an idiot or trying to I'm loath to accept praise, so we've got much more to go. Is it a step in the right direction this season? Of course it is. I've said it before, the good ship mariner is turned and facing the right way. And it's not dropped anchor into the National League and all that kind of carry on. It's sailing into calmer waters. But at the same time, we're in Division 4 in England, which is, again, quite a lot of the older generation will realise that this football club spent more years in the Championship than League 1 and League 2 combined. Whereas a lot of the younger fan base just accept that National League is rubbish and League 2 we're doing alright. No, we're not. Come on. Here we go. you know, raise your standards. That doesn't mean put more pressure on the players from my side or from fans. Have a go at them if they're not winning. I don't mean that. You know, we're actually striving to be better and continue to be better. And you know, so we're having a good season. We've made progress, but we've got much more progress to make as well.
Yeah, well done. What have been your highlights of this season?
Benji losing at line ball last Friday. That's one for the staff. There you go, Stevie. We spoke about the goal at Colchester on our table. The first goal, Greeny's goal from a yard. We've worked on that all week. You know, right from Lewis, the analyst who's got his feet firmly under the table now and is becoming a bit chirpy, but pointing out things like how close their centre halves were and how detached their fullback was, and we can make that. And Sean seeing that in the video, and then we're working on that, putting on sessions to do that, and then suddenly Denver does a little, you know, little fade pass. Everyone's in there, bang. Flanagan's let out, bang, score yard out. Things like that are really pleasing. Like really pleasing because it's what we've worked on. Seeing the development, you know, I get my kicks really from seeing the progress of a Denver, a Greeny. Even Rosie, you know, his game's come on so much more. He's not just a head on a stick, a self-entitled. That was his self, you know, that was his self moniker, if you like. He's much more than that now. So there's lots of development throughout the team, and that's really pleasing from my point of view. You know, and Sean and Benji, what we're working with the players, that's really important because we're just constantly getting better and getting the players better. And as I've said to the press, if we perform well, the results will look after themselves. So before that, we've got to get better. We've got to get better as staff, to work hard, to get that, to understand the players and put on the sessions that they need. And I think that's the biggest thing that's been me this season, the progression of not just one or two, but a decent chunk of the team.
Is there any games where you think that was the most satisfying win for you?
Next week at Wimbledon.
You want to say?
Next week against Wimbledon.
Yeah, you'll be right, pal. I liked Colchester away, I have to say, because some of the stuff that was said on the sideline was poor, really. They were trying to wind us up, weren't they? Because I think they knew we got their number, and they were trying to distract us, weren't they? And he said, "We should up there, told him at least I'm the best coach in my family." Yeah, I enjoyed that one. I thought the Doncaster away was very good. I thought that was the backing behind it. The scene after the final whistle was extra special, really. I thought it was fantastic. The 3,000 and the fact that we dominated the game for 85 minutes, probably of the team that's going to win the league. And they spent a lot of money. I thought we were excellent that day. There's been plenty, you know, early on in the season we had to win games differently. You know, Gillingham away, Wimbledon away. We weren't that developed at that point. We're not fully where we need to be now. So we had to win games in a slightly different way and evolve that way. So there were lots of pleasing aspects of it. There were lots of pleasing wins, I have to say.
Yeah, you beat 6 out of the current top 7 in League 2, which shows that you can beat the best among them in this division.
Yeah. Like I said, who's 9th?
Now you're asking.
So we beat 9th, who's 10th? Chesterfield. We might beat them, have we? You know what I mean? But to be fair, they're one of the best teams we've played. I would say I really enjoyed playing against Chesterfield, even though we lost. I think when we've turned up and we've played well, I think we'll beat anyone in the league. And that's the sort of mentality that we've got to have. And I genuinely think the players believe that. And we've got to continue to do that, and we've got to have more in terms of more players who can do that. And that'll be the challenge going into next season, into the recruitment for the summer, and at a higher standard. So we do, beat all the league, if you like, because that's the challenge. Or if we're in a division higher, make sure we don't come back out of that league.
George McEachran wins Player of the Year, the Supporters Player of the Year. What does he bring to this team?
It's not good fashion sense, is it? I'm not saying I'm Tom Cruise, but bloody hell. He's got, hasn't he? He has got. I don't know who's Red Bull me. Listen, he's a special player, isn't he? He is different to what probably this football club's used to. He said himself, the way we play suits him. Well, he's a footballer, a pure footballer. And we want to play, not necessarily pure football, because you can't have that all over the pitch. You can't, certainly not in League Two. But he's an excellent technician. But we've got a few others, Speaking to Ev and his girlfriend and his family area, he's got excellent techniques. That's why he's playing. You've got to be technically good to get in our team. You have to be. So, George epitomises that really, and he makes us tick. It was interesting. Swindon's all game promised to stop him, and it worked. As golden as it is to admit it, that shows how far we've come that they're having to really concentrate on our players. Again, it shows the progression that we've made over the course of the season, really.
And I think you said that a fellow League Two manager had managed George and said that he'll drop out of games, he'll disappear. So what are you doing differently to get that out of him?
I think just be there for him. I don't know why it sounds a bit corny to blokes in room, but it's not. It's having that unwavering support and belief in him, and not just him, in all the players. It's that, come on, I've got your back. If you make a mistake, it's on me. Go and get it again. Go and make us play again. If you kick the ball away, so what? We all make mistakes. Don't worry about it. And I think when you give players that sort of head freedom, if you like, psychological safety, whatever you want to call it, that unwavering support, and that's come over time. It's a trust thing, it's a relationship thing. Do you trust your partner on the first date? No, but you do by the time you've married them. It's the same in football sense, from manager to players. It is, and I think that when I say, look, I'm not going to shout at you unless you're not running around. And I think we've only done that once this year, haven't we? And it's like the rest of the time, it's just, come on, can you do this a bit better? This is what you need to do in this situation. And I think when you're constantly doing that, and the players go, actually, he's a good guy. He has got me back. He's trying to help me. So I'm going to listen. I'm going to learn. And I'm going to try hard for him. And that's not to me. That's all the staff, because we're all like that. Because I won't have it any other way. And I think for someone like George, I think that's really important, because it's easy to go, you don't win headers, you don't win tackles, you don't get stuck in. He's really good off the ball. He's really good off the ball. He's also really good on the ball. And it's like, come on, you're a good player. And it's that constant reinforcement to him. And I think that's the bit that he needs, rather than tough love, which I think certainly that manager that spoke to me about him has definitely given him, but that's not how you get the best out of Jordan Crackle.
Kieran Green is another player who's seen a huge upturn in his form since you arrived, David, as well. And of course he's won goal of the year, the goal of the season. Again, what's Greeny doing now that he wasn't doing when you first came?
Listen, when I first went to this football club, Greeny was a number 6. He was a destroyer. Everything off the ball. Come on. You've got so much more in your locker than just being an off-the-ball player. And truth be told, admit it himself, if Green receives the ball off the back players, he's not very good. He's going to be part of his IDP for next year. But receiving it as an 8 with back to goal, so he knows where the pressure's coming from, and he can manipulate the ball to either play forward or not get it took off him. But he can't do that now. So putting him as a 6 is suicide. Whereas George knows where they're coming from, 7 minutes earlier. So when you see that and you go, he cannot play there. Oh, by the way, what's his strengths? He can run all day, but he's not got a filter. So he runs all day at full speed. And it's like, that'll do. Because if he runs there and keeps running there and keeps running there, I can guarantee some fella, as a midfielder or defender, is going to go, sod that for a game of toy soldiers on your goal pal. And he'll get in. And that's what he does. The amount of managers that have said to me and Sean, he's a good player, I like him. And we go, yeah, that's why we've tied him down for 3 years. Unlucky. Well, they don't say that to him, but that's what I'm thinking. Because he's so effective at what he does. So it's getting the best. My job's to get the best out of the players. Get the best out of what they've got and give them the belief and the confidence and the little bits of refinement where we can give it them to improve them. And I don't think there's a better example, to be honest, this year than Greeny. Was it 13, 14 goal involvements? 14 goal involvements. There's no other midfielder in the league that's got his numbers. Jellis at Walsall, Lakin at Walsall, nowhere near his numbers. The attacking midfielders, nowhere. He's only paid at Colchester. It's the only one, the other one talked about him in a completely different way. He deserves a huge amount of credit for how he's improved his game. It comes down to attitude, and he's an unbelievable bloke. I can't speak highly enough of him. All the players love him because he's just that humble bloke. When he come up here and got the award, I'm thinking the last place he wants to be because he doesn't like the limelight. We got him off after he'd scored 2 goals against Morecambe. As soon as the fans started, he ran off the pitch because he didn't like it. That shows how sort of humble a bloke he is. And he's a leader by action. The lads all look up to him, and he's got better and better and better. And the scary thing is, he's not finished.
Pele tried and failed it. Beckham's was a virtual tap-in compared to Kieran's. How good was that goal at Harrogate?
It's the best one I've seen live, and I've seen a fair few in my time. And the truth is, it surprised us all, I think. It certainly surprised me. I didn't think he had that in his locker. But that shows how far he's come. And it shows, he just wouldn't have even attempted that 15, 16 months ago when I walked into the building. And it shows how far he's come. It was an unbelievable strike, an unbelievable goal. And it epitomises, like I say, his growth, his development, his maturity as a player. And I'm looking forward to seeing where he can get to.
And we've got a player in the League 2 team of the season in Denver Hume. How must make you very proud, David.
Yeah, it's fantastic for Denver. He's worked extremely hard. When he first come here, I think one of the biggest things that doesn't really get spoken about now is the fact that his defending has improved no end. And so it allows him to shine going the other way. You saw Greeny's goal at Gillingham, his little 1-2, and then where can he go to? The goal at Colchester where he's gone to play there and he's put Evan. He's done it ever so well, Denver, and he deserves all the accolades and all the sort of appreciation and positive comments that'll come his way because he's had a terrific season.
Thanks, David. Is there any questions from the audience tonight? If you just put your hands up, I'll come over.
Yeah, my name's Steve. The team's really improved this season. All the players, the manager, everything's been great. The pitch, what's going on?
I think if you look at most of the league, the pitches have been very similar. And we all know you've got to spend a hell of a lot of money to have a good one. We know it's an old pitch. Could it be better? Of course it can. We've all got eyes. Does it help us in the way we want to play? No, it doesn't. But it is what it is. Swindon managed to pass the ball on it well the other day. You know, Colchester's pitch were horrific. It actually helped us win 3 points because he hit the kid on the knee and never stuck it in after Luke did a great run. So it's easy to get caught up on not necessarily minor things or insignificant things. It would be lovely to have a new pitch and a couple of new pitches at the training ground, but you know, I ain't won your millions and now have the owners. So you know, we continue to work with what we've got. I think that's part of the challenge. You know, the wins at Wimbledon, the wins at Gillingham. You know, it was, I think I said at the time, it was like watching Arrigo Sacchi's Italy in the 90s. How we dug in and we had that team spirit. The camaraderie is brilliant. We can use the pitches as part of that as well. Here we are, this is what we are. You know, we're Grimsby Town. I think we're not ashamed of who we are. It is the pitch. Somebody's coming to our home. You know, have you got a new carpet in your front room? Well, look, you know, or in your bedroom. No, you haven't. We haven't got a new carpet in our front room. You know, so it's like we've got what we've got, and we've got to make the best of it. And I think that's how we've got to look at it, and use it as fuel to get better, as opposed to just complain about it. I haven't complained really about injuries all year. We've had some horrific injuries. But if I complain about injuries or the pitch, the players subconsciously get an excuse. And I'm loath to give them one, because they don't need one.
To answer your question, yeah, just one over it.
I'm Colin. I spoke to Denver earlier on, and I said, for me, in the last 30 years, he's the best left back we've had since Tony Gallimore. What's his contract situation?
We've offered him one. We're in discussions.
I hope he stays.
We'll all hope he stays.
Yeah.
That's the honest answer. He's obviously in a very strong position. You know, he's just got a team of the year. We're doing everything we can, and if he resigns, then fantastic. If he doesn't, we'll wish him nothing but all the best, because he's been a terrific servant in the 18 months that he's been here. That's sort of, well, that is where it's at. It's not sort of where it's at, that's exactly where it's at. So, you know, it's easy to look at it if he does leave, and I'm not saying he will, because I genuinely don't know, in a negative way, but it shows how well we've done for him and how well he's done for us. I see these kind of things as positives, because we should then be able to attract a better left back than what we got in Denver 18 months ago.
Yeah.
And that's the involvement in this football club, and that's how long it sort of takes to continue to progress. Hopefully we don't have to do that, but if we did, okay.
But he did say to me that he loves the club and he likes the fans, so.
Yeah. But there you go. We're doing everything we can.
Absolutely.
Cheers, thank you. Any more questions? Just one more over here.
So, well done, David, getting us back to where we all want to be. It's been a long time since we're knocking on the door for League One again, so well done to you and all the staff and the players. Are we where you believe we would be in the league at the start of the season?
Yes and no. What I mean by that is that I think there's performance and there's table or results, if you like. I think in terms of table, I think we're probably ahead of where we were. In terms of performance, I also think we're probably a bit ahead. We've got to be, our performances can improve significantly. And I don't want to sound pessimistic or, I don't know, dour or downbeat, but we've got so much more to learn and to get better at. But on the flip side of that coin, we've already got so much further. So the progress we've made is significant, but we've also got a significant amount to go as well, to where I think we can get to as a football club before we have to make decisions above me, whether that's, you know, I don't know, Tom Cruise coming in, or, you know, that could shake, you know, whatever, or, you know, we continue to be really strategic and bright in our thinking, and that's where we're at the minute, by the way, in terms of Polly and the owners, excellent, like outstandingly good, and I think that'll take us far. So I know we've sort of digressed slightly there, but for me, I think we've made significant progress, and we've got significant progress to make.
One more if anyone's got them. No, just one more over here.
Stuart,
Hi, Stuart.
I know you don't want to do this, but go on a journey with me. This Saturday we win. Hold it down. We get Walsall and we play them and we beat them. We do Notts County in the final and we go to League One. How do you think we'd do?
I think it's an extremely hypothetical question at the minute. We've obviously scenario planned, you know. Joe Hutch over there, you know, has done unbelievable to try and project what would happen and what we'd need for League 2 and League 1. I think we'd need a really good summer. And, you know, I was saying to our table, you know, I saw Nigel Clough's interview. We got walloped 4-0 by Birmingham on Tuesday night, who spent £15 million as a signing on for, you know, as a transfer fee for one player. And he's saying before the game that it's the first time in 30 years Mansfield stayed in the third tier. You know, not get relegated. And that's Mansfield. We've got a significantly greater resources than us at present. So for them to just want to stay in League One shows how difficult it is. And if we finished anything from fifth bottom upwards next year in League One, that would mark a significant progress again. So again, I'm quite an optimistic guy, even though I might not sound it tonight. That's the challenge that lies ahead of us, whether that's hopefully next season, having beaten Walsall and Notts County on this lovely journey that me and you've been on. Yeah, I can see it, I've got it. But that would be significant progress, staying in the league, because it's a tough league. We all want that to happen. And that's again, it shows how far we've come, but also how far we've got to go as well.
Thanks for your question. David, as I come walk back to the stage, what's your message to the fans ahead of this Saturday?
Enjoy it. That's first, eh? Get behind us. I hope we give you an afternoon to be proud of. I think the 45 games this season we've given the fans something to cheer about as a whole, and we've got one more big push, and if we do, then we might get a couple of extra games, and that's the plan. I hope everyone has a good time. If you're not coming, release your seat, definitely, so we can get even more bums on seats. Stay off the pitch at the end, you know, especially you here, you know, you this one here. I saw truth in your eye, young man. And I hope everyone has a great afternoon. I hope we've got something to celebrate, and a couple more games at least come 6 o'clock on Saturday.
On behalf of all the Town fans, we wish you the very best of luck. David Artell, everyone. We'll get started with the raffle and the auction in just a couple of minutes, but great chat with David. Thanks David for your time. Thank you.